Welcome back to our channel History Coins HD. As you that old is gold, but these rare Lincoln wheat penny coin that are most valuable than you think, don't spend one of them. You're lucky if you have one of these, so please watch complete video and find your treasure. Let's start this. Coin 1. We're talking about the 1944 Lincoln wheat penny. But not just any 1944 penny, this one has a secret. And that secret has made it one of the most sought after coins in the world. To understand what makes this coin so special, we need to go back in time. The year was 1944. The world was at war. America was heavily involved in World War II, and almost every aspect of daily life was being affected, right down to the coins in our pockets. The U.S. Mint, like many institutions during the war, had to make changes. Copper, which was usually used for making pennies, was suddenly in short supply. It was needed for war materials, like shell casings and wiring for equipment. In response, the mint made a bold move. For 1 year, in 1943, they stopped using copper entirely and produced pennies out of steel coated with zinc. These coins had a silvery appearance and were lighter than the traditional copper cents. But they also rusted easily and confused people because they looked too much like dimes. So in 1944, the mint switched back to using copper for penny production, this time using recycled shell casings left over from the war. But here's where the story takes a strange turn. Somehow, a small batch of leftover steel planchets, the metal discs used to strike coins, ended up being used again in 1944. These steel blanks were supposed to be completely phased out. But whether due to human error, leftover materials, or a mix-up at the mint, a tiny number of 1944 pennies were struck on steel instead of copper, and that mistake created one of the rarest and most valuable coins in U.S. history. Now imagine this. You're sorting through an old jar of coins. You're not expecting anything special. Just a handful of Lincoln pennies, maybe some from the 1960s or 70s. And then, you spot one from 1944. It looks a little different. It's not the usual copper color. It's got a dull silver tone. You grab a magnet and hold it close. The coin snaps toward it. That's the moment your heart skips a beat, because the 1944 Lincoln steel wheat penny is magnetic. That simple test can help you spot something incredible. But identifying it is only the beginning. There's more to this story, and more you need to know. The design of the 1944 penny is the same as most wheat cents from that era. On the front is the familiar profile of President Abraham Lincoln, facing right, with the word liberty to his left, the date 1944 to his right, and "In God We Trust" arching across the top. On the back are the two iconic wheat ears, framing the words 1 cent and United States of America. Simple. Bold. Timeless, but it's not the design that makes this coin special, it's the metal. Most 1944 pennies were struck on brass planchets made from recycled shell casings. These coins are common, and millions of them still exist. But the steel version? That's a ghost. A glitch in the system. A product of confusion at a time when the country was under pressure and the mint was operating at full speed. And it's this rare accident that turned a 1-cent piece into a treasure. Only a few of these coins have ever been found. Estimates suggest that fewer than 30 genuine 1944 steel cents exist. Some were struck in Philadelphia, some in Denver, and a handful in San Francisco. Each one is like a fingerprint, unique and incredibly valuable. What's even more incredible is how they'd been discovered. Some were spotted in pocket change. Others were hidden in family coin collections. One was even purchased at a flea market for just a few dollars before its true identity was uncovered. These aren't coins locked away in museums. They're out there somewhere, but there's a catch. Not every silvery 1944 penny is the real deal. Some copper cents have been cleaned or coated to look like steel. Others are fake replicas made to trick hopeful collectors. That's why expert authentication is essential. If you think you found one, it's worth having it tested by a professional coin grading service. The tiniest details can make a world of difference. Now, even if your 1944 penny is made of copper, it can still be worth something. Certain errors, like off-center strikes, die cracks, or doubled images, can increase the value of even a regular wheat cent. And if it's in uncirculated condition, meaning it was never used and has no signs of wear, it could still be worth far more than face value. But let's be honest, the steel penny is the dream. It's the kind of discovery coin collectors fantasize about. A coin that breaks the rules. A coin that wasn't supposed to exist. And it's not just about the money. It's about owning a piece of history. A mistake that tells a story. A tiny object that somehow survived the chaos of war, the passage of time, and the hands of millions, only to end up in yours. So if you've got an old coin jar sitting on a shelf, or a collection passed down from your grandparents, don't ignore the pennies. Look closely. Check the dates. Use a magnet. That overlooked little cent might be the most valuable thing you own. And now, the part you've been waiting for. If you find one of the genuine 1944 Lincoln wheat pennies struck on a steel planchet, and it's in excellent condition, authenticated, verified, and preserved, it could be worth as much as $125,000. Yes, 1 cent, worth $125,000. It's real. It's rare. And it's out there, still waiting to be found. If you enjoyed this video and want to uncover more secrets of rare coins, hidden treasures, and unexpected fortunes, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the bell so you never miss a discovery. Your next great find might be sitting right in your pocket. Thanks for watching, and happy hunting. Coin 2. We're taking you deep into the world of rare US coins, where one little letter, one slight mistake, or one lucky find could completely change your financial future. Now let's set the scene. It's the early 1950s in America. The war is over, the economy is booming, and the US Mint is producing coins to meet the demand of a growing population. Pennies are being struck by the millions, most of them entering circulation almost instantly, used in grocery stores, gas stations, vending machines. Nobody is thinking twice about them. They're common, ordinary, forgettable, but every so often, hidden among the billions of coins, something extraordinary slips through. Enter the 1953 Lincoln wheat penny. At first glance, it looks just like any other coin from that era. It has the familiar face of President Abraham Lincoln on the front. He's facing right, as always, with "In God We Trust" over his head, liberty to his left, and the year 1953 printed to his right. But there's one tiny detail that makes a big difference: the small letter D just below the year. That D stands for the Denver Mint, where this specific version of the coin was produced. Flip it over, and you're greeted with the classic wheat ears design, 2 curved stalks of wheat hugging the words 1 cent and United States of America. This is what gives the coin its nickname, the wheat penny. It's simple, it's bold, and it represents an iconic chapter in American coinage that lasted from 1909 to 1958. Now here's the thing. Millions of 1953 wheat pennies were made. So how could one possibly be rare? The answer lies in condition, errors, and minting anomalies. You see, while the vast majority of these coins were used in everyday transactions, tossed in drawers, or worn down by decades of circulation, a few managed to survive in near-perfect condition. And even fewer were struck with subtle errors, mistakes made during the minting process that went unnoticed at the time but now make them extremely desirable to collectors. These could be anything from doubled die obverse, where the design appears slightly doubled, to off-center strikes, repunched mint marks, or clipped planchets. Some 1953 pennies even show signs of weak strikes or have slightly off coloration due to impurities in the metal. These so-called flaws are now golden opportunities for coin hunters. Collectors go crazy for these kinds of coins, especially if they've been graded as MS or mint state, meaning they show no signs of wear and look just as they did when they left the mint floor over 70 years ago. But it gets even better. Imagine finding one of these error coins in your grandfather's coin collection. Or pulling one from a roll of old wheat pennies you picked up at a garage sale. Or even discovering one in the change you get from a local antique store. It's happened before, and it will happen again. What makes the 1953 particularly intriguing is that it's not widely advertised as one of the rarest coins in circulation. It's not on the radar the way the 1909 SVDB penny is, or the 1943 bronze cent. And that makes it the ultimate sleeper treasure. The thrill lies in the unknown. You never know if that old penny you've ignored for years could be one of the rare few worth thousands, or more. Even coins in average condition can fetch impressive sums if they display the right kind of error. But when a 1953 Lincoln wheat penny is in top-tier condition, possibly featuring a rare minting mistake and carrying that beautiful original luster, it can skyrocket in value. Now imagine you're that lucky person. You've checked the date. You've seen the D mint mark. You've noticed something unusual, a doubling of the numbers, an odd shine, or a crispness that doesn't look like it's ever been touched. You send it in to a professional grading service, and they confirm it. You're holding one of the finest examples known to exist, and here comes the part you've been waiting for. The jaw-dropping moment that makes every second of this video worth it. A verified, rare, high-grade 1953D Lincoln wheat penny with a striking mint error, preserved in pristine condition, has sold for as much as $118,000. That's right, one single penny, worth $118,000. So the next time you empty your pockets, don't overlook those old coins. Pull out the magnifying glass. Pay attention to the details. Because a tiny piece of copper could be your key to an unforgettable discovery. Thanks for watching. If you're as fascinated by rare coins and hidden treasures as we are, don't forget to subscribe, like this video, and tap the notification bell. There are more incredible stories to uncover, and who knows? The next one might be sitting quietly in your own change jar right now. Stay curious. Stay sharp. And as always, happy collecting. Coin 3. We're talking about a coin that might look ordinary but carries an extraordinary story, the 1957D Lincoln wheat penny. While millions were minted, a rare few hold secrets that could turn a 1-cent coin into a once-in-a-lifetime treasure. Let's set the stage. The year is 1957. Dwight D. Eisenhower is president, Elvis Presley is climbing the charts, and America is buzzing with optimism. In Denver, the U.S. Mint is hard at work producing coins for a growing economy. Among those coins is the Lincoln wheat penny, a familiar sight in every American pocket. These pennies had been around since 1909, when they were first introduced to honor Abraham Lincoln's 100th birthday. It was the first U.S. coin to feature a real person, and over the decades, it became a symbol of American values: humble, hardworking, and enduring. By 1957, the Lincoln wheat penny had already seen many versions and minor changes. But that year, something unexpected happened. Some of the pennies minted in Denver, marked with the small letter D under the date, left the mint with very subtle, almost invisible errors. These errors weren't discovered right away. They slipped through the cracks, entered circulation, and quietly began their journey across America in pockets, purses, and piggy banks. At a glance, the 1957D penny doesn't look much different from any other wheat cent. On the obverse, you have Lincoln's profile, the motto "In God We Trust" overhead, Liberty to the left, and 1957D to the right. On the reverse, the words 1 cent and United States of America are boldly stamped between two curved stalks of wheat, the iconic wheat ears design that gave the coin its nickname. But among those millions of coins, a handful have features that make them incredibly rare. Some were double-struck, meaning they were hit twice by the coin press, creating a slight doubling in the text or numbers. Others were struck off-center, or have repunched mint marks, where the D was stamped more than once, slightly misaligned. And in the most exceptional cases, the coins were preserved in pristine condition, never used, never circulated, and stored carefully for decades. That's where the magic happens, because while a typical 1957D wheat penny in average condition might only be worth a few cents above face value, those with rare errors or in near-perfect mint state condition are a completely different story. Coin collectors and numismatists around the world are always on the lookout for these unique pieces. They hunt through coin rolls, attend auctions, and dig through estate sales, hoping to find that one coin that breaks the mold. And for some lucky individuals, that dream has become reality. Imagine this: someone inherits an old coin collection from a grandparent. It's filled with dusty envelopes and plastic holders. Most of the coins are common, circulated, a bit tarnished. But tucked in the corner is a 1957D penny, shiny, crisp, and flawless. It's been sitting there, untouched for 60 years. They take it to an expert for grading, and what comes back is shocking. It turns out the coin is a rare mint error, struck with such precision and preserved so perfectly that it becomes one of the finest known examples in the world. Even more amazing? These discoveries often come from everyday people, not seasoned collectors, but curious individuals who simply took a closer look. The 1957D wheat penny, in the right condition, is more than just a collectible. It's a piece of American history, a glimpse into mid-century life, and a valuable artifact with the power to change someone's financial future. And while most people wouldn't look twice at a penny, you now know better. You know to check the date. You know to look for that tiny D mint mark. You know to examine the surface for unusual details, doubling, misalignment, off-center strikes. And most importantly, you know the value of curiosity. Now, after everything we've explored, its historical roots, the hidden minting errors, the survival of rare specimens, comes the moment you've been waiting for. That if you're lucky enough to find a 1957 D Lincoln wheat penny with a rare error or preserved in top grade, uncirculated condition, it could be worth as much as $115,000. That's right. One single penny, worth $115,000. It's out there. Maybe in a drawer. Maybe in your pocket right now. The only way to know is to look. Thanks for watching, and if you're just as fascinated by hidden treasures and rare coins as we are, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and tap the notification bell. We've got plenty more stories where this came from, and who knows? The next great discovery might just be yours. Stay curious, stay sharp, and happy hunting.